So on pole position then, Dan Clues, the runner-up in 2018 and 2019 in the championship. So looking to go one better this year, and he's started it in the perfect way with 2 wins, including from that reverse grid earlier, which was a great effort. Then Matthew Booth, who almost had to withdraw from the meeting on Friday after engine dramas, but they got it fixed. The Silverstone International Circuit for these cars, you're on 100% throttle for such a long time, and some of these 1-litre engines have been hurting because of that. The premier bike engine single-seater category in the country in its 24th year of competition. This is round 3 of the Swallow Hills Homes F1000 Championship for the 2020 season. The red lights are on and the lights go out and away they go. The Jedi racing cars accelerate up towards Abbey Corner, and it's Dan Clues from pole that's made the best start, with Matthew Booth there in second. Third, swooping through is Dan Gore, the former Caterham racer. There's Peter Lee, get in there, he's sideways and he's off the road. He's heading towards the gravel trap. He avoids the barriers, and off the road there's Booth. Is that the reigning champion? It's gone straight on and into the gravel. That's very strange. Wonder if he's got some sort of issue, I suspect. Wonder if he had a puncture, but couldn't quite see that from that shot. There is 22. That's Dean Warren, the monoposto racer, making his F1000 debut this weekend. So we're just left with 2 at the front. The 2 Dans, Clues and Gore, with a gap back to Paul Butcher in third.
Yeah, Gore's had a tough weekend so far, hasn't he? With real big problems, gear linkage problems yesterday, another drama this morning. But he looks a bit more determined now to try and put something on the score sheet for the weekend. And he's there behind Dan Clues. Dan Clues, the Newcastle driver, out front. Dan Gore in second place, driving from Mattel Racing. A gap back then to third place. Has got Booth here struggling down the hangar straight, unfortunately, and will be out of contention.
Not sure if the car was even tracking straight, so definite drama for him. Battle here. There was the 5th position being headed by Eddie Falkland. There's another lock-up. Could have been Rob Bailey. The pack there, 27. That is Al Rhodes Mays, just ahead there of Andrew Wills. Here are the leaders, though. Clues and Gore up front. Gap back to Paul Butcher. Then Jack Tomlin in his racing debut this weekend is challenging Paul Butcher, who led with the majority of the earlier race, and he's going down the inside for 3rd position and gets there. So he will now try and go after the top 2, Dan Clues and Dan Gore.
Yep, Tomlin, the 16-year-old Carter, gone past Paul Butcher in the 42 car and immediately stretching away. Can he now close down the leaders, who had a gap of more than 2 seconds to 3rd and 4th first time round?
Maybe hoping the top 2 start battling. They're pretty close, aren't they? Dan Gore,
they certainly are,
and Dan Clues. Gore chasing, just 4/10 of a second away. There's Tomlin then, in his car debut this weekend in his Jedi there, in the Jedi Racing Cars team. There's the Mattel car. That is the Jedi driven by Dan Gore, and the leader is the JFK Racing Team's Dan Clues. And they complete, or they go on to this 3rd lap of the race now, as they come up towards Stowe Corner. Top 2 with this big gap, then back to Tomlin. The gap there was 3 seconds at the end of 2 laps. Battles here. 21, sorry, Manette, just ahead of Dean Warren. And then you've got Alok Inyagar and Adam Walker involved in that battle. So here's Butcher in 4th. He's been caught then by Eddie Falkenham, who's having a great weekend here. Much stronger than we saw from him last season, I would suggest, and chasing Paul Butcher now down towards Abbey Corner in this battle for 4th place. And the gap back to Manette, leading the rest of them. Falkenham there up over the curbs in that 5th position and chasing Butcher as they turn into the hairpin here at Village. And this huge group of cars, which has a big slide and a spin in the background. I think that might have been Billy Stiles, who's having his best run of the weekend, because he had got into the top 10, but I think he just spun there just off of camera shot, got very sideways into the Village hairpin, and there he is then, facing the wrong way, and he will drop to the back. 41, Billy Stiles. Challenge here, 14, Adam Walker. He was on the podium yesterday, and now he's going past there, number 30, Alok Inyagar for P8, so a place gained there for Adam Walker. Here's the battle for 4th place. So this is Butcher and Falkenham down into the chicane.
Yeah, Butcher's dropped back, hasn't he, from Tomalin. But yeah, again, that Falkenham car looks a little bit taily, doesn't it? Maybe it's just the way he likes to drive it or likes the setup. But he's certainly now into that battle big time with 42 Paul Butcher. Matthew Minette behind him, half a second ahead of Dean Warren, the mono convert. That's the Mittel car of Dan Gore, number 4.
Right with the leader, Dan Clues, looking for a hat-trick here at Silverstone. 15-minute race. This is lap 5 of it. Fastest lap with Gore, a 1:04.40. They're still about a second away from Ben Hingley's lap record, the former champion back in 2015, who holds the record here at Silverstone for this category. Tomalin there in 3rd, 3 seconds back. On the previous lap, he was actually quicker than 2 leaders. There is Tomalin in 3rd. He's got this gap to catch. Then before 4th, Falkenham round the outside of Butcher to go into that position. Very experienced driver in these cars, Falkenham, but sideways. Falkenham, Butcher, the experienced one, now loses a position then. And then you've got Matthew Minette under pressure from the 22 car, that was Warren, pulling out of the toe, but no way through into the super quick Abbey. Flat out, I think, in these cars.
Yeah, that time round, Dan Clues had eked a few more metres over Dan Gore. It's gone out to just over half a second between the 2 and the 4 out front. There's Butcher behind there. That's Minette, isn't it? And then behind Minette is now Dean Warren, Adam Walker in that group as well.
They're all fanning out, aren't they, down the hanger straight, trying to pick their attack. And here comes Butcher down the inside of Falkenham into Stowe, but Falkenham tried to pull across him and he does stay in front. And then you've got the Minette, Warren and Walker cars chasing them down to the chicane at Vale. Around the outside looks Dean Warren of the 21 of Minette, who was a winner last month in the Monoposto Championship at Alton Park. The Jedi beating all the Formula 3 cars there. That's how quick these are as they complete lap number 6 of this race. Down towards Abbey. There they come for 4th. 4th all the way back to 9th, I should say, involved in that battle, which is great to see so many of them getting involved. Butcher again looks to the inside, can't do it. Here comes 14, Walker, looking up down the inside of Dean Warren, unable to make that work though. But it's a great battle nevertheless. Now Warren comes down the inside, into the link, chucks it up the inside, and manages to accelerate off the corner well, ahead of Minette, and that puts Minette under pressure now from Adam Walker as well. But Minette fights back. He's going back ahead of Dean Warren, and Adam Walker looking down the inside of both of them, and he's going to have to back out of it in the end, which probably was the right thing to do, Marcus.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got to the apex, would have run really wide had he made that pass, but he probably lost out again. But look, this is getting really busy because there's 4 of them absolutely hammer and tongs for this place, and they can't quite catch Butcher. There's 22 going up inside 21, so that is Dean Warren now passing Matthew Minette and setting his eyes on Paul Butcher, who runs in 5th place in the 42 car.
But he slides wider. Abbey does Dean Warren. He loses
and
to
Walker
Minette.
goes round the outside of him, I think, isn't it?
Yes, he's lost 2 places in all that. And Walker now goes up the inside of Minette. He's going to try and get 2 in 1. This may work yet. He's alongside. Is he heading through this link road? Back onto the hanger straight they go, and he has done it, I think. Walker, who was 8th just a couple of laps ago, a couple of corners ago, is now 6th. So that was a good bit of opportunist driving from him in car 14, the podium man from yesterday. But now he's the one giving off the toe to the rest of them. So Minette comes back down the inside to try and regain that position. They run side by side through the corner, but no, 14, Walker is ahead. Down into the Vale, and now it's a turn for Dean Warren to have another go, but he spins just perhaps a bit too of a tight turn and getting the power on a bit too early there, Marcus.
Yeah, he was on a compromised line. He got going again very quickly, but unfortunately he's lost 3 or 4 places as a result of that. Butcher now trying to get back on terms with Falkenham as they struggle for 4th place. Here they are. Butcher in the purple and yellow car. Falkland's car, a darker livery.
There is Dean Warren trying to regain position. He's just passed the Team Sellers car there of Nikita Abramov. So that is for 12th position. Dean Warren's back ahead of. Good to see Team Sellers racing, another 750 Motor Club team getting involved in this championship, new to the club last year. There's 11 then. Mitchell around the outside of Manette. So Elliot Mitchell goes 7th. So Matthew Manette's lost a couple of places recently. Down into the Vale they come. A small lock up there from Mitchell as he tries to get away from this battle as we head into the final third of the race. Just 4/10 of a second between the top two. Dan Clues to Dan Gore. And Jack Tomlin just slipping away from the two ahead of him now. 4 seconds back. Then it's Falkenham leading the rest of them that we've been watching.
It's interesting that James Hills isn't having such a strong race this time. He had a good run earlier.
Yes, down in 10th position. With these Jedis, it can make a bit of a difference when you put new tyres on. So I think you have 2 sets for the weekend.
Gore's made some progress towards leader Clues now in these closing stages. He's cut the gap from 0.7 to 0.4 again.
Here they are, coming out of Stowe, down to the Vale chicane, absolutely together into the final third of this race. The races have been 14 laps this weekend, so I suspect this will be the same. There is number 4, that is Dan Gore, chasing. Of course, when you get close to the car in front, there's that bit of aero wash that makes the car understeer a bit more than you would like. So he's got to manage that, especially on these fast-flowing corners here at Silverstone. So Clues and Gore down to the hairpin now, into Village. Ahead of Jack Tomlin still, who is looking for podium number 2 of the weekend. He's 4.5 seconds away. There's the Mattel car though, of Dan Gore, the former Caterham racer that moved into F1000 last year with the Mattel team. Just having a look in his mirror there. But it's a big gap back to those behind, so he can focus forward and focus on trying to make a move on the leader, Dan Clues, who finished 2nd in the championship in 2018 and 2019. 2019 champion Matthew Booth out of this race. The 2018 champion was Michael Watton. Bike engines screaming away, the 1 litre engines, as they conclude another lap. 3 further laps to go in this race, the gap about half a second.
Yeah, it's been there or thereabouts for the last few laps. Here comes Hills in 7, up the inside of Iyengar. He's gone through.
So that puts him up into 9, and he's only about a second away from Matthew Manette. So he's starting to make some progress in this race. There are the leaders though, onto the hanger straight. So in the tow is Gore, chasing Clues. Jack Tomlin falling further away. In this, the 3rd round of the Swallow Hills Homes F1000 Championship for 2020. The series that joined the 750 Motor Club last season, and the grid has just grown ever since to over 20 of them here this weekend, and we look forward to having this type of grid size for the rest of the season. Another lap in the books, 2 to go, and Dan Gore just can't get any closer, can he?
No, it appears not. Just slipped back a little bit that time through. Clues looks very comfortable, it has to be said. Out front in the number 2 car.
Looking back, this is the battle for 4. Eddie Falkenham still there, but Paul Butcher chasing him. Adam Walker and Elliot Mitchell have caught now 2, making that a 4-car battle. They've dropped Matthew Manette. But a good battle for 4, being headed here by Eddie Falkenham, and this has been by far his best weekend in the category. Moved over from Clio 182s last season.
It's a big change, isn't it?
Absolutely. The speed difference, there's nothing you can take from a Renault Clio into one of these, I'm sure. And a challenge here. This is on Paul Butcher from Adam Walker down the inside for 5th. And Walker makes it then ahead of Paul Butcher. But is he going to slide wide? He's drifted wide, allowing Butcher back alongside him down to the chicane. But the inside line for Walker should keep him ahead. But Butcher's braked much, much later. And he's gone right round the outside, but then the tighter line for Club. Is that going to work for him? It didn't. So round the outside, Adam Walker into 5th. So he shall try and go after Eddie Falconer, but there's only 1 lap to go.
Yeah, it's a brave move, wasn't it? And he didn't get disheartened when Butcher came back round him at the end of the Vale. And certainly Adam Walker is in the ascendant. Probably a bit too tall an order to rob Eddie Falkingham of 4th place. Walker in the 14.
So the final run down the Hanger Straight for this 4th place battle, and Walker is catching, isn't he?
He is,
at quite
absolutely.
a rate. And he's dropped Paul Butcher, super experienced driver in the category. As they turn through, Stowe a bit wide, they're Falconer there, the leaders just going through Club, and across the line, Dan Clues then wins the race. He beats Dan Gore by a smaller margin in the end, 4/10 of a second. Both arms out the cockpit though. Dan Clues delighted with 3 wins this weekend. And leaving big black marks on the road there. Eddie Falkenham trying to keep Adam Walker at bay, and he just about manages it. He was only just ahead of Walker, who was over a second behind the beginning of the lap, just 1600ths it was at the line. Jack Tomlin came 3rd, by the way, 6 seconds behind the leaders. 2 podiums in his debut weekend. He's a good effort, but it was Clues and Gore ahead of him, with Falkenham in 4th, Walker 5th, Paul Butcher 6th. 7th for Elliot Mitchell, 8th Matthew Minette, 9th for James Hill, and Alok Inugar completed the top 10.
And we're going to hear a lot more, I think, of Jack Tomlin, aren't we? He's an MSA UK young driver sort of ambassador. He's on the academy scheme, and so he's got some help behind him, and looks very promising, a 2nd and a 3rd over the 3 races yesterday and today. But a really, really good advert for the Swallow Hill Homes F1000 Championship. Really well conducted, and a superbly run championship, and a great paddock vibe as well down there in the garages. Lots of help available, and smiley faces in the garages this morning.
It's been a great addition to the 750 Motor Club. Came in last season.
Well, the club of course had Formula 4, didn't it, for a long time before Formula 4 kind of got snapped up for modern racing again. I remember Formula 4 back in the 1960s when it was run from motorcycle engine cars, and then the old 1-litre Formula 3 engines and Hillman Imp engines and things came in. But it's been something that's been missing from the armoury of the 750 Motor Club in recent times, and Formula 100, F100 as it's known, of course, fills the bill very nicely.
And really comes together now with all the bike engine categories with the club, because you've got the Bike Sports Championship, the Sports 1000s, and F1000 now too. So if you've got a bike engined racing car, the 750 Motor Club is the place to be.
It sustains a cottage industry of motorcycle engine builders, I suppose, that specialise in car applications.
Absolutely. So the cars go into post-race scrutineering, so it might be a few moments, I suspect, before we can hear from our top 3. Being Dan Clues, Dan Gore and Jack Tomlin, with our 3rd voice in the coverage, being Matt Suckling. Do get in touch on the YouTube chat. One question here is, how is Silverstone getting away with the rainstorms affecting the rest of the UK? Well, let's hope we continue to get away with that.
It's how is it everyone's blowing in the opposite direction, aren't they, I think?
Luca and Ollie and Thomas watching too. Lots of support for the 2 Motorsport UK Academy students that we look forward to see how they progress over the season. Billy Stiles looked up quicker in that race than we saw him earlier, so I think he's not quite as quick as Tomlin at this point, but as the season progresses, Marcus, that could be a different story.
Yeah, exactly. Worth watching how they progress, and of course this year just a short number of events. So in many ways it's a season to build towards a full and let's hope normal campaign with rather more rounds in 2021.
So the remainder of the F1000 Championship this season will be at Oulton Park next month, Snetterton in October, and then on the national circuit at Silverstone to conclude the year.
I think going back to what our the comment that came in on social media about how Silverstone getting away with it. Well, Silverstone's renowned for its microclimate. It used to have sort of snow in May for things like the International Trophy, and torrential rains and all sorts of bits and pieces. Can happen at any time. So that microclimate might just be kind of smiling on us today, while 5 or 6 miles down the road there could be precipitation.
Absolutely. Remember to share the live stream on your chosen social media form, Facebook or Twitter or whatever it may be. Try and get more people involved in the 750 Motor Club action here at Silverstone, and remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the 750 Motor Club pages on Facebook too. But let's welcome Matt Suckling into this afternoon's broadcast.
Down here with our race winner from the F1000, Dan Clues. Dan, what a perfect weekend it's been for you. 3 wins out of 3. That is a great achievement.
Best weekend we've ever had, I think. Just absolutely over the moon with that. 3 wins straight out of the bag was brilliant. The cars worked beautifully all weekend. The boys at JFK, Dan Cook and the lads there have done a cracking job. It's just worked everywhere it's pointed, it's gone, it's flying. Really good.
Yeah, the car's been perfect, and in terms of that race, Dan was with you for the whole of it, really.
He was, yeah. There can't have been probably half a second between us all race. Just watching him in the mirrors and just hoping I could just break the toe, but it never really happened all race. It was just, he was always there. So just concentrate, no mistakes, and if I could just keep the pace and no mistakes, and hopefully I could keep him back. And it got close a time or two, but yeah, all good. Very happy.
Great stuff. Well done, Dan. Good luck for the next one.
Thank you very much. See you at Oldham Park.
Yeah, we'll do. There's Dan Clues. We would now bring in Dan Gore as well, who finished second within that race. Dan, it's been a testing weekend, fair to say, but you've come good at the end.
Yeah, mixed weekend, so this makes up for losing second in the first race with the gear linkage failure. So yeah, glad it's all come together at the end.
But a good bit of pressure on Dan Clues right throughout that race, so you were trying every single point on the track.
Yeah, it was a good race, that. It was, I really enjoyed that. I was trying to ruin his weekend for him. I'd tried the mind games before the race, telling him I was looking for points anymore. I was just looking for trophies, hoping he'd jump out of the way, but no, he's just too good for that. So I tried to keep the pressure on, but didn't make any mistakes.
Good stuff. Well done, Dan. Thank you very much indeed. And a very quick word as well with Jack Tomlin. Just before we go, Jack, well done, third place. Great weekend.
Yeah, great weekend. Got a second and a third this weekend. All we could hope for, really. We can't catch Dan at all. They're all down the straight, getting away from us. But yeah, great weekend. Thank you to Fraser and the team and Dean, my mechanic, and all the boys back at Loughborough supporting me. Thank you as well. But yeah, great weekend, and hopefully can bring on to the next weekend as well.
Good stuff. Well done, Jack. Thank you very much. There you go then, our top 3 down here from the F1000. Look forward to them next time out. But up next, we've got the MX-5s.